So for the first time in months, we actually get to go for a Blacktail and Elk hunt, or at least we can do that and actually have realistic expectations of finding a diamond. Because for a while, it was pretty much impossible. It's actually two big ones here. What the heck? It was pretty much impossible for Blacktail to make diamond, and I don't think Elk even could. I'm trying to guess what his score should be. He should actually be somewhat close to diamond, I think. I don't know where those came from. I must have spooked them coming down here and they were just like standing in that brush or whatever. So I want to kill the other one too. That completely threw me off. Yeah. Elk were like literally impossible to get diamond on. And Blacktail had to be super wonky, like 4 or 5 racks. But from what I've seen, they're fixed, or at least they're changed to the point they can make diamond now. And I know I've seen both diamond Blacktail and diamond Elk posted in the Discord, so I'm excited to actually go for them. I mentioned that in yesterday's video. I've been kind of looking forward to getting to hunt them again. Because I think the only of either of those species we have in our new trophy lodge is a tiny piebald elk we shot right before I headed out to Utah a couple of months ago, so actually kind of hyped to see if we can get anything out of the lodge. And honestly, I was sitting here looking at a couple of level 3 Blacktail thinking it wasn't going to be a very interesting start, but then this dude just trots out. I think he should be somewhere like 360-ish. Yeah, 369.1, so he's actually pretty much as big as any of the elk I shot in the past. Like, this particular rack shape was the old diamond rack shape, like the big diamond. I believe my 2 max weight true rack elk that I shot right at the beginning of their release were somewhere in the high 360s like this. But one of the things that I've seen changed is that elk actually can have different rack shapes now. So I don't know if they've added new ones, or maybe like they weren't spawning properly. I wouldn't have guessed that was a thing, but we had the whole deal where like melanistic red deer weren't spawning properly, and I believe the same was happening with albino grizzly bears, so I think actually it could be that. But either way, there are new true rack elk antlers that are showing up, and you do need, I believe, those new shapes to actually make diamond. I haven't really seen any of the old shapes making it. Maybe the kind that I just shot can be a small diamond, I'm not sure, but that's one of the interesting things that has happened so far with this update, is there are actually new elk antlers. I don't know where that other elk actually went, but he actually wasn't as big as the one we shot, so I think I'll come back for that later. Like, I assume he drinks down here at Valmont Lake, so I do want to try to hop around to some other areas. Like, this is another spot. I don't hunt up here in the morning anymore, or I haven't for a long time, because Blacktail and Elk couldn't make diamond. And as you see, this is actually a spot where they drink, so it's a good spot. I was hunting here for whitetail, so I would still come here. But, yeah, it's nice to actually hunt some of these areas and get to hunt these species again. Because I always liked going for elk. Like, I always would like hit that 440 to 500 kilo track and just get excited hoping that could be a level 5 and get a diamond elk, because I'm not a huge fan of the elk true racks, but they're just very rare. Or at least they used to be. Like, a diamond elk was actually quite an achievement, even with the diamonds being seemingly more popular in even recent years at this point. But yeah, I'm excited to actually get to hunt them again, and honestly, we got a pretty decent one for the lodge already. I'm kind of mainly only mounting diamonds and rares, so I don't know if he'll stay, but since we can actually get good-sized elk again, I thought we should keep that one. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention actually, before we got started and then had a couple of huge elk right in front of us, I completely left my Layton unhunted. Like, I didn't hunt blacktail or elk since the update, because I knew I wanted to do this video, and I wanted to save anything here to be like completely new, because they did reset the populations of, I think, all the species that they fixed, so Blacktail and Elk, of course, would be included in that, and I wanted everything that we see to be new. But I'm hoping we can find, like, a decent-sized level 4 Blacktail somewhere, because there's some kind of changes with them as well that I want to explain, but it'd be easier if we could see one. I don't see any right now, so we'll probably just drop one of these level 3s. So I brought the 6.5 as my deer rifle today, because a lot of you guys have been kind of mentioning it, asking if I like it or whatever, and I do. I just find the 30-06 and the M1 and stuff to be slightly better, but I guess we should shoot the 3 instead of the 2. Honestly, great sounding gun. I do like it. I just, yeah, I prefer the others a little more over it. So obviously this guy wasn't anything special, he's just a little silver. But they did actually change the diamond requirement for Blacktail to 177.5, which you would think would kind of make all of the Blacktail score diamond now. but they've also made it a lot more difficult to actually get the kind of big diamond antlers, which a lot of people didn't seem to like that, which I actually thought it was a good thing because, in my opinion, like, there was no really impressive diamond blacktail because they all look like level 4s. So now I think really only the ones that have those big antlers are going to be the diamonds. So I don't know if that's like how it's meant to be or whatever now, but I actually like that. So unfortunately, these elk were not like removed or anything. I said there were new elk like antlers added, but they didn't get rid of the really odd looking ones like this. I honestly think like one side looking like that's fine, but when they're even, it doesn't really make any sense. But anyway, he's obviously nothing special either, just another little silver, but you'll probably notice me fast traveling around a lot, and it's mainly because I'm trying to get to like as many of my favorite spots as I can while Blacktail and Elk are still drinking. But I do want to go over here to High Lake because this is where I tend to see a lot of elk drinking, but I never go over here in the morning, so I don't even know if they still do that. So yeah, we got two more pretty good ones. Actually, apparently the one on the left is a little higher scoring. So we have the 300. We have the potential to get both of them, but I think elk actually tend to flee pretty quickly, so I don't know if we'll get away with that. But one thing I have noticed as well with this most recent update, it does seem there are a lot of bigger elk spawning, like a lot more of them. Because before, most of the elk I would see are like this size. But I do actually, like, I see a lot of these posted, and when I was playing multiplayer yesterday, I saw a lot of ones this size. So I'm kind of hoping that stays, because I do like actually seeing decent elk when I hunt around. But we're going to see if we can get both. I want to get this one first. So we got the heart shot, and then at least one lung on that, so that'll work. And we might actually have a decent thumbnail, because that elk died perfectly. It was just perfect, the fact that he was by the, whatever this is called, like this walkway thing. And the fact that he just kind of fell down on it the way they do when you make a heart shot. But yeah, 321 for him, so he's not huge. Kind of barely into the max weight estimate range. But I feel like this was the... Maybe it wasn't, but I think this was like the small 5 rack before. So definitely changes there, but I actually think they're good changes as well. And I thought this guy was bigger at first, but of course, the tine length matters a lot for these, and he only has one brow tine. He's only got a couple of tines going up here, so that's probably why he doesn't score as high. Pretty wonky looking elk, to be honest. Not sure about the brow tines looking like that. It's a little bit odd. Okay, that'll actually demonstrate this pretty well. So this particular rack shape for elk used to be like 900-ish scoring on the old system, and now he's level 3, which will probably be gold, but I don't know. It just kind of shows like how much they've sort of changed that, and the fact that there are like the new rack shapes, and they do actually have to be like a lot bigger to be level 5s now. But I think we'll just go ahead and take that shot. Maybe we can go for neck just so we don't have to track him. So I'll let him pick his head up and actually go to drink again, because my luck he would lift his head right when I go for a shot. So let's see if he'll let us actually do that. There you go. Alright, so I've got a tent over there and a tripod, and I'm kind of hoping that there's going to be more elk drinking over in that area, because they used to. That's actually why I have the tripod there. So that's actually a silver now, which is kind of insane. It's close, but I mean, it's not like this is a high weight elk that's scoring really low. It's just that they've sort of changed the scoring, I think. And, oh wow. What is up with his heart? Do they usually look like that? I feel like his heart's completely screwed up for his drinking pose, but anyway. Yeah. Kind of interesting that that's the case, but again, there's no tines all the way up here, so the way that the elk scoring works, I guess that makes sense. I sort of don't know if I like the way the elk scoring works, but going along with the fact that that's just how it is, I can see why that's actually a silver. Now that's interesting. That's a 4 that's really similar to that one we started with, but he's actually not even the max weight estimate, and his score estimate only goes to 335, so I'm not really sure what the difference is. And I'm looking, they usually travel in 5, so I don't know like where their other 2 might be. We'll probably try to get him. I'm curious like why this guy is so much smaller than that first one. I'll try to look at the score sheet, because I think I looked at the score sheet of the first one. I'll see if I can figure out exactly what the difference is, but interesting anyway that even that rack can be the not maximum weight estimate. And I didn't mean to focus so much on elk, but apparently I'm a little more interested in them. So he's only 434 kilos. I'm not sure where the difference was. Hopefully I looked at that at the beginning and we can actually compare. But, yeah. That guy's, like, 70 trophy rating lower? I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, I don't know where this one was hiding, but that's a max weight estimate one, and you can see he's not, like, even the decent rack that the max estimate ones used to be for sure. So, don't know if I got a lung there. Yeah, we actually lucked out and did. But, yeah, just so we can get... That was an albino or something. What was that? What was you? I don't know how these things are hiding from me this well up here. It's actually a buck, too. That's really cool. Alright. Let's just kind of chill then. Not go running up there just yet. Not an albino, it's a piebald. Cool with that, too. I was literally just thinking, like, I need a rare or diamond blacktail to eventually make the collision multi-mount, so I would need a puma, too. But, I mean, if we can get this guy, that'll work just fine. That's him right there. Can I get that? I feel like I can, but I don't know what brush may or may not be in the way. Okay, so he did actually come back. I thought he did because all these other ones did, but I couldn't see him. He just happened to go to a spot where I couldn't see that well. So we're going to scoot over here and try to go ahead and get him with the 6.5, but I was actually thinking, like, while I was sitting here waiting for him to come back, since I saw some other deer on their way back, it actually feels like the elk and the blacktail sort of flipped. Because before, there were a ton of, like, level 4 blacktail that kind of looked like the 5s. There were a lot of big ones. And now most of them are kind of small, like the piebald one here. Whereas a lot of the elk are actually pretty good sized. And before the update, most of them were, like, completely unimpressive, to be honest. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting that that's happened. I don't know how I feel about it. I do like that, like, the level 5 blacktail are actually going to be noticeably bigger than the rest of them. Whereas before, like I said, they look like a normal level 4, so I don't know. I think that's going to take some getting used to, but ultimately I think that's probably a good change. But yeah, that's pretty cool. We actually have a pretty decent animal to put in a multi-mount with a puma. I always said, like, a small rare for these, like for those ones where there's some kind of predator taking them out. I actually kind of like that as a multi-mount idea, more than a diamond. But we have that level 4 to find, and I want to show that and then kind of complete my point that I was talking about. He's dead right there. So I didn't realize at the beginning of the video when I said that a lot of the blacktail were like the size of that piebald and smaller now. But again, I do like that it's actually going to mean something to find one like even this size or bigger. Like, that's 85 kilos. That was the big rack before. And now, from what I've seen, even like 89 kilos, which used to be a diamond, has like the small 4 rack from before. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. Something to get used to, but we'll have to see what happens like over the course of hunting Layton for a while, but I think I will like it. So I don't know why, but I completely forgot that I actually had a albino puma already. It was that mythical that we shot on one of our melanistic red deer hunts, but yeah, I like that. Like I said, I like the idea of like a small rare buck in these better than a diamond. Because I don't know, it just makes more sense, like a younger buck getting taken down by a puma. But I did have to take down the sort of caribou scene that we had going on here. I had that diamond caribou chasing the leucistic. But these platforms fit the collision multi-mount. So yeah, we have that. And you know what? Just for now, since we shot it in today's video, we'll just put this elk up here. Kind of majestic anyway. Not a diamond. Eventually I'll end up hopefully replacing it with an actual diamond, but it's good to see elk actually scoring properly again and actually having a chance to hunt diamond elk, because I've not killed one in a long time and I actually miss it. By the way, sorry about the jackrabbit spawning on the screen. I spotted one before I came back to the lodge and didn't wait for it to unspot. But yeah, actually pretty decent first hunt for elk and blacktail again. We got a rare for a multi-mount and a close to diamond level 4. And honestly, two things. I think it's, for one, going to increase my chances of getting a great one now, because I'm going to be hunting Layton a lot more in multiplayer and stuff. And also, like, just in general, I think it's going to increase the amount of Layton content you see, because as much as I'm not a huge fan of most of the elk true racks, I do kind of like the diamonds, and I really miss hunting just elk in general. That was a lot of fun doing that again today, and I can't wait to actually do more. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.